It's time! It's time to welcome you all once again for a new episode, a great topic, lot of discussions, explanations, and learning. This is what I love when all the things that we are teaching, hearing, are useful to us and are improving us. Today, I want to speak about our tongue. You know, coaches, that our role as teachers is very important. We have a heavy duty because, as I always say, no matter where we are or what we are supposed to do in that precise moment, such as things out of the gym which might look or feels far from our role as coaches, but we are a coach 24 hours a day. It doesn't really matter what we're going to do if we have other jobs. This I mentioned many times and I want to repeat it because it's very important. So it's very important also that we understand, and that's the topic of today, that what we say really can change lives, but also can destroy lives. And why this? Because our role as teachers is really deeply influencing many people around us. So the weight to put on words coming out from our mouth, so our tongue, what the tongue is speaking, is very important to pay attention. Not to be ruled by emotions, not to be ruled by evil. Let's say it. More times than less, I saw many times, I heard coaches, great coaches, in difficult situations, not controlling their tongues. And this is why we are always in troubles. Because as I always say, no coaches, no boxing. But I always also say that we are the problem. We cause our own problems. And we know it's about the ego. We know it's about our arrogance. But what part of our body is declaring our ego and our arrogance? The tongue. Because the tongue speaks for us. And whatever comes out of our mouth through our tongue could be great or could be very bad. Sometimes it's building, sometimes it's destroying. And of course, I have a passage, a scripture for you all that I found in the Bible. Here we go, with my Bible as always. And I'm talking about James 3 from 8 till 10. Listen to these, coaches. This, once again, is incredible how the gospel suits our coaching life in a great way. Listen to this. James 3, 8 till 10. But no man can tame the tongue. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. With it we bless our God and Father, and with it we curse men who have been made in the similitude of God. Out of the same mouth proceed blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not to be so. And when I read this, instantly I thought, wow, this is for my coaches. This is very helpful for us to understand, Because many times we truly need one of us to help us to understand things that we might do not because we want to do it wrong, but we are not paying attention. Because I know that emotions are difficult, very difficult to hold, but we must be in charge. We need to control our emotions, and it requires, of course, a lot of work. But let's go back to the scripture. James 3 from 8 till 10. From the same tongue can be blessing or cursing. See? We never think about this. That from the tongue we might say something great, but also it might be something very bad. Something that might either offend or hurt our students. We need to be very careful. Very, very careful what we say, when we say, the way we say it, and to who we say it. This goes back to the last episode. Do you remember the scripture that we were discussing, where I was reading and the scripture was saying to the weak, I have become weak to might win the weak. In that context, we were discussing, of course, that we might be whatever it needs with that student to help him properly, so to touch, to make sure that our words, directions, go and deliver the message properly, to make sure that our student will succeed, and not to harm him or her. This is not what we want. And I know that nobody wants to harm the students, but many times we do it without even realizing. So I hope that this, which I want to read again, this scripture will help all of us to think once again how to improve ourselves. It doesn't look, remember one thing, nobody here is without any sin or mistakes. Nobody's perfect. We are here all together to help each other to improve. That's the only thing that matters. If yesterday I was doing a mistake, it doesn't matter. If I was doing a mistake, you were doing a mistake, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter if we are willing to learn and to improve ourselves. Because we also know that those who's doing nothing, they never do any mistakes. So if you are trying to build yourself, you will do mistakes. We need the mistakes, because through the mistakes we can learn and improve ourselves. Now once again, James 3 from 8 till 10. But no man can tame the tongue. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. With it we bless our God and Father, and with it we curse men who have been made in the similitude of God. Out of the same mouth proceed blessing and cursing. Then we have a message here that is saying, my brethren, these things ought not to be so. Yes, we need to help each other, and we need to be open to receive help from our brothers in arms, our colleagues, coaches. If I do a mistake, I want to hear it from one of my brothers, not from one of my enemies, of course. Because if we are brothers, we want to help each other. An enemy wants to harm us. using maybe our weakness, because if I still doing a mistake, meaning that in that area I still weak and I need to build more to be strong and to avoid as much as possible mistakes. So please, coaches, remember, between us, we are brothers. We need to love one another as written in the Bible and one of the last commandments given by Jesus. This is also very important, and again, once again, it connects to the Bible. So the message here today, coaches, is this. We need to be very careful about what we say, because we can save or kill with the tongue. And if some of our brothers is coming to us trying to help us and say, look, I heard you, ma, I think that with that message, that the way you said it went wrong. Do not get upset. Receive, think, elaborate. Try to find the positive way to work it and make it strong. All right. For today, I think we grinded enough, and I'll see you into the next episode. Do not forget to subscribe right now and to follow my journey. And also, if you made it till here today, I want to remind you that if you want to support the channel, from now on you have their thanks, and you can of course donate to the channel to help the channel stay strong and continue with no stop. All right. It's time for me to go, and I'll see you into the next.